everybody, Josh RV Nerd, Bish's RV here with something a little different for you today. Something I've never done quite like this before. I'm calling this my personal nerd preferred best of the best list today, where what we're gonna do is go through 10 categories, things like, no slide campers, starter campers, etc. And I'm going to tell you what I think are my personal favorite things. Like if I was the person shopping for that kind of camper and I was purchasing a trailer today, these are the ones that are the top of my personal list for a bunch of different situations. Now, obviously, as a result, this is very subjective. This is just my personal feelings on the topic. It's not to say that these are the best things, full stop. You're stupid if you don't look at these. I don't feel that way. I feel that they're the best fit potentially for my preferences, confidence, and or situation. Your personal top best of the best list could look very, very different from this, but I want to go through, like I said, kind of break down a couple different segments. We're going to look at a couple quick flyby examples of trailers, that I'm naming as my best of the best for my personal purposes here. And if you want to learn more about these trailers, whether it's pricing, whether you want to see a full video, make sure you check the links down in the video description. And I'm going to chapter mark the living crap out of this video so you can jump around like the House of Pain to get whatever you want out of it. And short of that, let's get started. And let's get started with starter campers. If you were going to get into this your very first time, what would you get? First of all, I've put this on record before, and I want to say this right away. I think your first RV should be one that you rent or borrow before you ever purchase an RV. And I think it's not a bad idea to make your first purchase a used RV. So that being said, if you were going to purchase a new RV first, or if it was going to be your first one, models that I really recommend, it kind of varies if we're looking between couples models or family models. If you're a first-time camping couple, I think the J-Flight 210 QB is a monster fit. It has solid construction, good features, and one of the best warranty backings out there. And if you're a first-time camping family, I think the 26BH that we put out there, not just because it's exclusive to Bish's RV, I think it's pound for pound, dollar for dollar, feature for feature, the best starter family bunkhouse I've seen. All the extra little details, the extra storage, the heated belly, the bigger solar packages, all those things add up. So here's a quick look at those two. Hey, welcome back everybody, the regular return of members, the RV Nerd Herd. My name's Josh the RV Nerd, this is Bish's RV. We're down here at Jayco's display in Las Vegas today. The 210 QB has been a very intensely popular solo and couples camper for a lot of years for a lot of reasons. It's small, it's lightweight, it's easy towing, it's no slides, it's no nonsense. This is everything you need and nothing you don't kind of camping right here. But it brings in a separated seating setup in the back, which is some cool alliteration that I wasn't planning when I woke up today. That gives you a sofa and a dinette with some really respectable window coverage. It's a middle kitchen, middle bathroom, kind of very classic camper, not a glamper design with a front walk-around bed, albeit a short queen. But that's the thing. I'm going to try to give you positives and negatives as we go here today, so you can be better informed and educated as to whether this is the right one for you or not. Compared to last year, if you've been following this one, the GVW got upgraded a little bit by about 500 pounds, and now has about a 6,000 pound GVW, meaning more cargo carry capacity than it had before, and basically, essentially the same tow vehicles are going to apply here. They put a decent sized awning on this. They've got double the warranty of basically anybody else in this class. Walkable roof, optional solar, prepped for ladder, it has one of those telescopic removable kind of jobs on it, and then a couple other interesting little odds and ends, like a really nice full front pass-through, but a galvanized steel lined wheel well. So let's say, God forbid, you have a blowout going down the road, you have a literal silver lining that might actually be the thing that keeps you from completely ruining your vacation in your RV. You could get the spare on, you could get there, you could limp through. I hope that doesn't happen, but in case it does, it's nice that they kind of thought about little things like that. And those are the little details a lot of manufacturers don't apply to their more budget-sensitive campers like this. So if you appreciate how we're sharing the ups and the downs and the in-betweens, hit that subscribe button and let's get inside. Hi everybody, Josh the RV Nerd here at Bish's RV. Welcome back once again with some updates to what I already felt was perhaps the best starter family camper out there. Literally, like if me, my wife, and my kid were going to get a camper today, no joke, the 26 BH Go Play is really in the top 3 of my personal nerd preferred list, and probably the one that I would end up going with because it's small. It's under 30 feet, so it's not like the smallest thing, but it's no slides. It's simple, it's easy, it's a lightweight where a half-ton can yank this thing around pretty darn readily. It's got a taller ceiling, a bigger air conditioner, factory standard, no heat vents in the floor, no carpet, so very easy to clean, very pet-friendly. If I feel like bringing my dog and or cat with us or something like that. The belly's heated and enclosed, which is almost never done in an entry-level price point camper like this. Still has an outside gas grill, quick connect. It has a big front storage compartment and a lot of other good things. But what have we done to make it better? Because that was always there before. We have given it I call it a full facelift on the outside. I think this thing is looking great. There have been some interior redesign tweaks, but for the most part, we did the outside of this, I think, looks significantly better than it did before. There's also things like the storage under the bed. We've completely reinvented that, and I think it's so much better. And mark my words, you are going to see a bunch of brands copy what we have done here in this price point and in this segment. We've demonstrated that it can be done without blowing the price of the RV out of the water. Other people will do it. Our version of this, because a lot of builders have a version of this, ours has a full bedroom privacy wall. It's a major defining quality. Some have a half wall, some have no wall, and all of those have different benefits. But if you are looking for full maximum bedroom privacy, this is the one that accomplishes that. There's a couple little hitches in its giddy up as we go I want to kind of explain, but for the most part, I'm very happy with this thing, and I'd love to hear from you, because my opinion's one thing. You might be the person buying it. What do you think of it? Let us know, and let's get going. Moving on from there, if I start breaking down my personal favorite no-slide campers based on, again, looking at a couples or a family camping situation, I go back to that Go Play 26BH again for my personal favorite no-slide family camper out there. Once again, yours could look totally different, but I legit think that thing is awesome. However, looking at no-slide couples models, I recently finally had a chance to start putting my hands on R-Pods, and they have a model that I think is just awesome for what they've done. So, I'll admit, I have passed out in a camper before, but I have never passed something out of a camper before quite like this. What is even happening? Like, what is going on? Welcome everybody, Josh the RV Nerd of Bish's RV down here at Forest River again today with, I like this, something that I personally like. This RV is sneaky good. It is deceptively good because you walk through this thing, you experience the space, like you get really focused on like the pass-through windows, whether it's the open air window over the bed, which there are screens and there's a blackout shade, you could close that off. Same thing with that almost like food truck style, like somebody's grilling and then they just pass the steaks up to you as they're done cooking them kind of window over here. You get super fixated on that, and it has so much open floor space and like a giant pantry, big bathroom with crazy stupid storage back there as well. And then you walk out of it and you realize this thing has no slide out. This is an 8-foot wide tandem axle, lightweight, easy towing, just awesome kind of camper. This is a lot of fun right here. If you're a solo person, if you're a couple, if you like to entertain people, but you don't really like to have people stay the night, if your policy is more like a good neighbor, stay over there when it comes to evening hours, you might prefer something like this right here. The big XL vent fan in the bathroom is a fan favorite and hit by everybody. Central vacuum system, no carpet, no floor vents, easy cleaning, pet-friendly, partridge in a pear tree, heated enclosed underbelly. Western editions also pick up tank heaters and a little more aggressive tire package, 200-watt factory standard solar package, Asdel below the fiberglass skin, ton of aluminum construction going on here, class 3 receiver on the back with a 300-pound rating in case Aunt Edna croaks on the Clark W. Griswold family vacation, and a bunch of other stuff. This is a sweet rig right here. This is one of those, I think you walk by it and you see that it has no slide, you're like, oh, I want something with more space. Don't walk by. Pop your head inside, see what that giganto window is all about, and I don't think you're going to be disappointed with what you see in here. I'm going to go through, open everything up. I was going to say close the slide, but again, it doesn't. It still feels like a slide out unit to me. I'm going to show you all the ins and outs. Let me know what you think about it as we go. And let's get rocking, because there's a lot to cover in a little box right here. And although most of the RV industry is built around the idea of couples camping or family bunkhouses, not everything is like that. What about the solo RVer? The thing is, there's not a lot of things that are really built around that concept. So we actually kind of built something around that concept. And although you could use our Go Lite campers a number of different ways, I think some of the stuff that we've done on these is very conducive to solo RVing. And if it was just going to be me, casual camping jet setting around, I'd take a look at one of these. What if you don't have a big giant monster machine camper? What if you don't need a couples camper or a bunkhouse? What if you got like a tow package SUV? There's not a lot of RVs that are fit for you out there. So, we made up our own. Welcome everybody, Josh the RV Nerd of Bish's RV here with the very first of our new Go Lite series, exclusive to us at Bish's RV. This is a completely unique set of mini campers. It's a very limited floor plan family, but basically what we noticed is that there were people who had like the tow package SUVs, the smaller mid-size pickups, the fact that everything is always, here's a couples camper, here's a bunkhouse. What about the solo RVer? What about the family that just wants to spend their time outside and not inside? What about the single parent that just wants to take their kid out for the weekend? What about all of the people that the RV industry as a mainstream have just abandoned and forgotten because maybe it wasn't the biggest market segment? Well, we thought that kind of sucked. And we see people come to our stores all the time wanting to fulfill situations like I just described, and there just wasn't really a lot of solutions for them out there. So we came up with one. We're calling it Go Lite here. We partnered with Sunset Park RV, and this is an interesting little series. Now, this floor plan specifically was literally made with one of our own Bish's RV executives in mind. He was one of those people that despite all the RVs that we have available to us at Bish's, there was not one floor plan that really fit how he wanted to camp. He wanted to take his son out and go fishing on the weekends in the mountains around Idaho at their favorite spots. And there was never a camper that just really did what they wanted to do. They wanted small, but a lot of window coverage. They wanted good awning coverage. They needed sleeping, but they also needed cargo space. They wanted to have a little bit of a battery tender to keep the battery up and alive while they're off the grid a little bit. They needed some extra ground clearance. They wanted separate sleeping spaces. This is a totally one-off, unique floor plan that we've put together here that we looked at and said, what if we made a bunch of these? Would people like them? And this might totally fail. We don't know. We would love to hear from you. What do you like? What do you dislike? How could we continue to change, evolve, and improve this? Are there other floor plan concepts we should put in? As we go through this video, leave all that feedback, anything that you're willing, and let's see what we can come up with together. And speaking of small stuff, people ask me, what do I think is a really good fit for an SUV? It's kind of a loaded question because SUVs can be so greatly variant in capacity. But basically, if you're gonna just force me into an absolute knee-jerk answer, the Rockwood Geo Pro or Flagstaff E-Pro series, they're the two names for the literal same thing. Everything within these series qualifies for a large number of like tow package SUV towing scenarios. So here's a look at one of those, and whether you're looking for solo, couples, or family situations, they have all kinds of solutions for you. Guys, it finally happened. People have been saying for years they love Geo Pro RVs, but they hate towing with a single axle. Why can't they make them a tandem? Well, your wish may have just finally come true. Hello and welcome everybody. Josh the RV Nerd of Bish's RV down here in Millersburg, Indiana today, away from my Coldwater, Michigan home store, because I caught wind of the fact that Rockwood might be finally willing to do something that people have been asking for since the launch of Geo Pro. Put them on a tandem axle platform. Now, they're not going to do this across the board. Not every single Geo Pro is going to go tandem. But as Geo Pros have grown in popularity, some of the floor plans have also grown in size, and they started to become a little heavy for what you really should be packing onto a single axle in a lot of cases. And they decided, you know what, maybe on specific floor plans, we go ahead and slap a second axle on there. But the thing is, Once these floodgates open, it will be really interesting to see if this brand evolves like a GeoPro 2 series tandem axle models or something like that. Almost like a missing link between single axle GeoPro and the tandem axle Rockwood mini lights, because there is a pretty significant gap in there. In the meantime, what they basically did here is they started with their 20 FKS, because this was the largest GeoPro model that was also the heaviest. They said if any one model would benefit from a second axle, it would be this one right here. And this is a really cool camper. If you're familiar with things like the new 2506 FK or something like that, it's a smaller version of that, where it's a private true queen bedroom in the back. Well, I say private, it's just in the back away from everything, with a middle kind of seating area that actually overlaps with the bathroom, but a surprisingly good front kitchen for a little camper that actually has a full-size oven and a microwave and decent counter space and a 12-volt fridge. It's a fully equipped kitchen in a tiny camper, plus this has its own little mini outside camp kitchen, plus some junk in the trunk storage, 200 to 400 watts of solar, 1800 watt inverter, holding tank heaters, composite walls, all aluminum skeleton, plywood floor, and a partridge in a pear tree. That is 11 pounds of sugar in a 5-pound sack. This next one's probably going to surprise you a little bit. It's basically, I guess the way I could describe this is the most equipment for your dollar, the most stuff for your money. And I think the Grey Wolf series from Cherokee is insane. All of the features that are packed onto this RV for the money. If you just ignore the fact that, like, this is a black label model. Normally they have the conventional tin skin, but they're always stick built. So I think people overlook these and they sleep on them. But if you start listing all of the equipment that is on this RV, and the fact that they actually were some of the one of the brands that led the charge and did so much of that first. Like, they were the first brand to standardize larger air conditioners instead of upgrading air conditioners. Bigger bathroom fans that other people just still don't even offer, even as an option, you know. If you look at all of the widgets and whiz bangs you get here, what makes me respect this brand so much is, like, yeah, they have the same, like, 1-year warranty as a lot of other brands. But after that warranty expires, all of the equipment on this RV you get to keep, and you get to keep using and keep enjoying. So as long as you maintain that camper, it is something that, for the money you spend up front, all of the features and fun and enjoyment you can get out of it later is disproportionately high compared to so much of the industry out there. Wow, look at that. Sorry, hey, squirrel. Hey everybody, Josh the RV Nerd with Bish's RV down here with a brand new floor plan. It's kind of just the Grey Wolf version of a very popular couples camping classic right here. But to the extreme, they are rocking this mic like a vandal. They put a massive chunk of glass on the front of this thing, and it is not just a window, it is a true windshield, just like your vehicle. So gonna be far more repellent against, like, rocks flung at it and stuff like that. But this feels to me like a camper that would be really good for, like, seasonal or park sites, but maybe you don't necessarily want to or need to go all in on the deep end budget. You don't necessarily need the bed slide version of something. That's where this comes in. Now we're looking at it the more conventional standard series today with the tin skin, but the black label package with this shiny fiberglass skin, that is also available here. The front end of this is fairly straightforward as far as front kitchens go, where I do love the fact that a lot of your stick and tin campers won't make a different front end for one floor plan like this. I think it's really cool that they really focused on the viewing off the front of this thing, because it does have very limited campsite window coverage, to be fair. And when I first glanced at it, I was like, oh crap, this thing doesn't have a pantry, but it does. It has a pantry-tainment. There's a lot of kitchen storage even behind the entertainment center, which I think is a very effective, crafty use of space. Again, it doesn't have an east-west bed slide. If someone's like, oh, it'd be better if it had a bed slide, there's plenty of other RV manufacturers who make a floor plan like that. Something like this, that's a little more cost-effective, lighter weight, those are things that haven't been able to be found in the RV industry for a while, so it's kind of cool to see. It does have some nice features, like the bathroom has the bigger vent fan, but it is a radius elbow bunker shower. It's a step-up slide, but it's carpetless and ventless. This RV has positives and negatives all over the place. I want to be fair with you, and I want to tell you both sides of that equation, and if you appreciate that, hit that subscribe button, like our video, and let's see what else this one might have in store for you. But recently here, especially since the pandemic period, there's been a big push to remote working. So I thought, okay, if I was going to be a true mobile digital nomad, what would I be looking at? And my answer kind of depends a little bit on how I was going to use it. Like if I was going to be primarily stationary and like really setting up a home away from home office at one point, Brinkley, I think, has what I feel is the best private office fifth wheel on the market today. We're going to take a quick look at that in just a second. But if you are looking to do some very mobile, on the move, potentially doing some work while untethered situations, it is hard for me to think of something that can provide better function for a digital nomad person who's going to camp without power hookups at a park, basically, than an Ember Overland MSL model with their max solar package, because it's like 1.2 kilowatts of solar power, 3,000 watt inverter. They have an entire bunk area that from the factory can convert into a dedicated office space with plenty of power outlets and everything around. They're just two really, really awesome solutions, but two very dynamically different RVs.
Just wait till you see this in action. Hello and welcome everybody. Josh the RV Nerd of Bish's RV, literally standing here barefoot right now. You can actually see my shoes by the front door. We'll get into all that later. What we are looking at here though is yet another floor plan that was created based almost exclusively on your input off things like comments on these videos. So there's a lot of people that have really liked what Brinkley has offered, but there's also a lot of people who are just like begging for the industry to finally come up with like a real, honest to goodness, dedicated office space. And they did that. And they absolutely took it a level above. It almost looks like they originally thought about making this a bunkhouse and then went, wait a minute, forget that. What if instead we gave it like this big wraparound solid surface desk space where whether you're trying to just rock an ultimate mobile gaming station or if you're looking for a literal home away from home office to do some glamping and work camping or something like that, this is going to be really hard to beat. What's awesome is not only is it a good dedicated space, obviously it's climate controlled back there, has its own XL vent fan back there, really good storage back there, but also has a push button power adjustable desk that you could put a side-by-side washer dryer back there. But they didn't change anything about the living room, the bathroom, the bedroom, including the bedroom washer dryer hookups. So you actually have a choice. You could use this just as a laundry room in the back. You could throw a mattress on the floor for like a guest room for grand kiddos or anything like that. You could still throw your laundry up front, have the office in the back. It's like it's a two-directional mullet. It's either business in the front or rear, party in the front or rear. It's however you want it. It's a Missy Elliott mullet. You can roll it over, flip it, and reverse it. Now, if you're playing RV Nerd Bingo, that's one that I never expected to have on the card today, but you may just have won the jackpot. Now, we're going to go through this in full detail like we always do, because there's a lot more than just the office on this one. So if you appreciate how we get down here and show you good with bad with everything in between, hit that subscribe button. Let's get started. What if one RV could change from bunkhouse to couples camper to walk-in closet to dog kennel to office to just about anything you can imagine, and it could do it all without modifications on the same trip? Check this thing out. Hello and welcome everybody. Josh the RV Nerd with some serious bags under my eyes today. As you can tell, we're at an RV show display, so I got up super early to get in here and get this footage for you so that you can enjoy things without a whole lot of distractions. If you appreciate the effort, the way that we're putting out there the good, the bad, the ugly with everything in between to try to be candid and transparent with you, hit that subscribe button and like our video. But in the meantime, some updated looks here on the 221 missile launch, baby. Their multi-function storage locker from Ember RV. It was a completely new concept in the RV industry, where what if the bunks didn't have to be bunks? And it was all based on your viewer input. People said, you know, it would be cool if we could turn the bunks into a desk, if we could change the bunks around. Ember created an entire system from scratch that could do just about anything. You could have double bunks, single bunks. You could have one bed, like maybe you don't need two bunks. Maybe you just need an extra bed. Like you need a literal mother-in-law suite. You could turn this into a dog kennel. It could work as an office, because the thing is, this RV RV by default has a 2,000 watt inverter, and all household outlets in this RV are live powered off your battery. But you can also get their max solar package, which is what we're looking at today, that has also improved since the last time I recorded one of these. Where it used to be, this RV used to have 200 watts of solar and a 1,000 watt inverter. It now has 400 watts of solar and a 2,000 watt inverter by default factory standard, which is pretty darn good, way above industry average. Max solar basically doubles that. You jump up to 800 watts of solar. You have a 3,000 watt smart inverter. You have built-on lithium batteries right from the factory that you can add more if you want to. All of the household outlets are run to the power outlets. Are run to the inverter. The outlets are run to the outlets. Yep, I said that. So like if you want to be in the middle of nowhere and you want to plug in a laptop and keep that sucker working, this is something that can do that. They run a Truma air conditioner that's way more energy efficient. And I'm not going to tell you can sit in the middle of a field forever and hide from the government and run your air conditioner, but you can through the hottest part of the day if you are totally boondocking. You can get a little bit of respite away from that hot summer sun. Now, I've already run long in this intro. We have a lot to cover on this model because there's nothing industry standard about this thing.
But instead of, having a mobile office scenario, what if what you're looking for is actually just to set up a home away from home? If I was going to be looking at an RV for an extremely long-term use scenario, like snowbird sunbirding, because it's, even though the day that I'm recording this is the first day of spring in Michigan, and the temperature dropped 45 degrees today, which is why my face is freaking freezing right now, but I wanted to get you this footage today. If I wanted to leave this crap, and I wanted to go someplace where it's warm, what would I want to look at? What could I tolerate being in for several months at a time? And that Jayco rear kitchen, front bath and a half Pinnacle, for me, is just borderline unparalleled. That thing is killer. And I don't know that folks, you don't have access to the stats and the data that I have, and the way that especially Jayco's big high-end fifth wheels, the warranty rates on those have come down so much. They are performing, and they are a brand that has always felt good to me, but they are really getting things dialed in right now. But when we start looking at what if I was going to have a family in an RV for an extended period of time, the equation changes a little bit for me. A traditional bunkhouse fifth wheel starts to feel not awesome to me, but those 2-bedroom, 2-bathroom, dual suite kind of RVs, sometimes with a loft, that starts to make some sense to me. Having kids having their own bedroom makes a lot of sense. And the one of those that I like the best is actually from the Alliance Paradigm series, mostly because I think it provides the best living room of all those dual suites out there if I was going to spend a long time in one.
This is just my personal nerdy 2 cents. I think that this is one of the best rigs and layouts for full-timers potentially out there. Take a look at this thing. Hey everybody, Josh the RV Nerd of Bishop's RV down here in Middlebury at Jayco today, because despite the fact that we carry these things at my Coldwater, Michigan hometown superstore, they are selling faster than I can get my hands on one. So I actually took a little bit of a road trip over here to Jayco, where they were kind enough to pull one of these up. We are looking at what I think is one of the best extended long-term use kind of RVs I've seen out there in a very long time. And today we're looking at it in one of their just totally beautiful full body paint packages that are optional, but oh my gosh, does it make this thing look good. But before we even get to that, the layout on this is amazing. It's one of my personal nerd preferred long-term use layouts, because we have a huge kitchen with lots of storage, lots of space, a lot of countertop prep space, factory standard dishwasher as well, which already puts this into a very elite separate class that is, there's not a lot of things playing in there. There's some dishwasher prep stuff, but very few RVs just absolutely have one. And if you're going to be spending a long time in this, that's a really handy feature. It has a ton of seating space, and it's got a very almost residential style wraparound kind of sofa. You can sit everybody at this thing. It has so much space, and between the extra tall slides, the wide body nature of this, and just the ridiculous amount of window coverage, it looks and feels enormous in the living room, but for good reason. This doesn't just have opposing slides, it's got a big giant, what I call mega slide in the living room, where it actually is like a 3-piece slide that also has a desk built into it, So if you're looking for some dedicated work from home, away from home space, you got it. You could also use under that desk as a perfect little pet palace if you need a pet bed, pet dishes, anything like that. It's the best space for it. Jayco has also completely created a new heating system on this that gets rid of the floor heating vents without losing the warm floor and efficiency of the traditional floor ducted heating system, and so much more. This video is going to be long and strong and down to get the camping on, because this is a monster rig with a lot to cover. And if you appreciate how we get you all those nitty-gritty details and get you the footage of these things away from the store today, hit that subscribe button. And as we go, let me know, what do you like about this and what would you change given the opportunity? It's almost like they went to see a plastic surgeon, because this thing has a full facelift inside and out, and you're going to get to see it here first. Stay tuned. Hello everybody, welcome to Bish's RV. Actually, welcome to Alliance RV. I'm Josh from Bish's, and this is the full new look inside and out at the 2025 Paradigm Series. Also going to be shaping and influencing a lot of things that are happening even in the Avenue Series. And it's interesting, if you look at this, a lot of people, I teased a photo of this early. They said it almost looks like an Avenue nose cap. They're really kind of taking the best of both worlds from Paradigm and Avenue and sort of merging them into one thing to, I think, give you the overall best impression here. So compared to last year and the last year before that, these had a pretty standard brown interior decor, had maybe a little bit of a Western tinge to it. It has sort of adopted a little bit of like, I call it almost like an executive kind of feel. It's very subdued, but very classy and upscale. And the thing is, I looked at this RV when I first walked up, and I was like, ooh, that paint package is looking good. And then I got up close, and I realized this is not a paint package. That is just how Paradigm is looking now. And I think, personally, it looks stellar. And I'd love to hear what you think. Now, this 395 DS is a returning floor plan, and I personally feel one of the very best dual suite offerings out there on the market today. It has a king front bedroom with full bathroom, a queen rear bedroom with full bathroom, and bonus loft, attic, storage, sleeper space, whatever you want it to be. What I love about this one is the way that they lay out the living room actually provides enough seating for everybody that can sleep in this RV. And that is a problem that most bunkhouses and most dual suite two bedrooms have, that they have nailed here. And I'm really excited to get to go through this one with you. Leave me notes as we go. Let me know what you think, good, bad, ugly, in between. And I, in turn, will try to do the same. And if you appreciate the candid way we go about this, hit that subscribe button, like our video, and let's go.
Now, my next category here is kind of more theoretical than anything else, rather than a specific scenario. If you were just someone who appreciates originality and innovation, I think that you absolutely have to have brands like Grand Design Imagine in the equation. They have done a lot of things the rest of the RV industry has flat copied out of their playbook. Also, in the 2025 season, the Forest River Vibe family has become, I don't think people even realize all the cool, crazy things they're doing yet. It's very, very fun. But if we are just going to say innovation, period, who is the leader? Amazingly, it's the Salem Wildwood division from Forest River, cranking out the last couple years some of the most insanely unique things you've ever seen out there. Whether it's literal hidden rooms in slides, or built on decks and hibachi grills built onto these things, and all kinds of other nonsense. They're doing stuff that no one else has ever even dreamed of before.
You know, one of my favorite things living in the Midwest is just having a little back porch patio party. What if you could bring that experience with you camping? Hey everybody, Josh the RV Nerd of Bish's RV here with something a little different for you today, like Monty Python. This is the new 42 Veranda from the Salem and Wildwood group. So this member of the Veranda family, because there's a whole bunch of different Veranda models from this group right here. This one is built on their their destination platform, their wide body, 8.5 foot wide, 8.5 foot tall thing. And they've had a couple of these other similar patio models in the back. And what's cool is whether it's the smallest one or this big one, you have a 9.5 foot deck on the back of this thing with composite boards so the rain doesn't rot them out or anything like that. A built-in griddle station, wet bar, perfect for sitting outside and having just awesome little patio party. There's room out there for chairs, and this one, if you're paying attention, they actually, the way they reinforced everything, they built a second awning off of the campsite of this RV, and it actually goes all the way back to the porch. So even on a hot sunny day, you're still using your power awnings to give you some kind of patio space. This thing is wild. It's perfect for like lake sites and destinations, such as the name Destination Trailer probably, suggests. But my point here is you've got no slides on the campsite. You want to build a deck on the side of it, it's perfect. If you look at the living room, it kind of looks like they took a little bit of a squished down version of their 44 view, but I'm not mad at that. It gives us good direct facing entertainment, awesome campsite window coverage, and they redid the loft on this one in a way that I never could have imagined. If you'd have told me that this has a dining desk in a loft, I'd have said, go home, you're drinking again. But here we are. The bedroom, the bathroom downstairs, they're fantastic. Washer, dryer, hookups, good closet space. Bunch of crazy fun things. It's got some weirdness to it, but I can deal with it. And I would love to hear what you think about this one. Good, bad, ugly, in between. I'll try to do the same and share with you. We'll meet together in the comment section with the questions you have. Let me know how you think they did. And if you like how we get you the footage of all this weird, wacky, wild stuff, hit that subscribe button. Let's get started.
But back to a more traditional category, under 30 feet. Shopping things under 30 foot is an awesome mark that a lot of people look at. What I would personally be purchasing under 30 foot depends on whether I'm looking at a trailer or a fifth wheel. Now, notice I said under 30 foot, I didn't say half-ton towable, because I don't really think fifth wheels and half tons generally belong in the same sentence. I have whole videos dedicated to that. But if I was going to be looking at a trailer, my number one best of the best camper that I'd get for like just me and the wife right now today is probably, it's getting so hard and so close, but it's probably still for about 5 years in a row, the Keystone Cougar 22 MLS. For what I look for the things I like, it just crushes it. And they did some awesome advancements this year, like going all composite and stuff like that. Like, they've done some very, very cool things. I really kind of wanted to say Bish's own X225 Go Explorer, which was kind of our copy of a Cougar 22 MLS, but as much as I like it, it has a couple things it needs to do a little bit better yet before I consider it the best one for me. It's not quite done cooking, but hopefully it gets there. If I was going to be looking at a fifth wheel, though, it became a lot easier for me this year. I've liked the Cougar 23 MLE a lot. And Alliance came out with the Avenue 23 ML, their version of it, and that was so good. I was really conflicted hard. And then Brinkley entered the chat. And their Model Z 2680, I've never seen a fifth wheel that I would personally be more interested in with the things that I like more than that thing.
So for 4 years running, I have called this my personal favorite couples camping travel trailer out there, and they just cranked it up to 11. You have got to see this. Welcome everybody, Josh the RV Nerd of Bish's RV, down here actually at Keystone today, checking out what's new for 2025 on the Cougar family of campers. And they've done some things I didn't expect them, frankly, to ever do. First of all, some of the obvious stuff, like there's little interior decor tweaks and a couple little furniture changes, but they have finally adopted composite walls, composite flooring, composite slide walls, composite end walls. They have adopted the composite age here on Cougar. It is the first and currently only Keystone brand that has done this across their entire lineup effectively. So what this is like below your fiberglass, below your wallpaper on the inside, they have a new composite like wallboard that they're using, and they've maintained their use of hyperdeck flooring. So like a lot of Asdel using brands still had like a stick-built floor or Luan in the floor. A lot of brands like Keystone that had a composite floor still had wood in the walls. Well, Cougar is one of the very first to do both things. And I know that there's a lot of people, I've heard a lot of criticism over the last couple years. People are like, when are they going to finally go composite? Well, they have, guys. They're finally there. And any of their travel trailers like this one that do not have a full bed slide, They have completely redesigned the front pass-through storage compartment. They've given it a drop frame. When we get into the details of the front compartment, I think just that alone is impressive. Now, they've also done some things like change up some furniture options and swaptions on this. They still have their 220 watt solar package that you can crank up to 660 with a big inverter and all kinds of other stuff if you're so inclined. Cougar has once again elevated themselves above where almost any other travel trailer goes. Like, they've maintained ABS, but they now have put a Road Armor fifth wheel suspension on this little travel trailer right here to make it one of the better handling, smoother riding, safer towing and going kind of campers out there. Now, like any RV, it's got a couple downsides, but this is threatening to be a 5-time champion in my eyes, and I'm really curious to know what you think about it. So, I haven't talked about this on camera, but for a long time, I've been hoping Brinkley would make this floor plan, and they have absolutely knocked it out of the park. This might be my new favorite couples camping fifth wheel out there. You are going to want to see this. Welcome everybody, Josh the RV Nerd here at Bish's RV, and I'm going to try to keep myself contained because I'm kind of gushing over this one right here. It's almost exactly everything I would personally want in a fifth wheel, and then some where they took it over the top even further. So why am I so excited about this? Like, if you saw the other 30-foot Brinkley fifth wheel, the 2670, it's great. It has a lot of really good qualities, but there were some very fair critiques and criticisms that the viewers put out there, and this floor plan organically addresses almost every single one of those. There's very, very little here that I'm not like absolutely overjoyed with. We're going to be, like most fifth wheels, a pretty solid 3/4 ton tower, but it's 30 foot tip to tail with fantastic tires, excellent suspension. So if you really want to do a lot of, road travels and stuff, this is going to be a great fit. Not to mention, it's a 30-foot fifth wheel. A chunk of that's hanging over the bed of the truck. So if you're going to go through those tighter spaces like the state national parks, this may give you some fantastic maneuverability and parking capability that other big rigs just couldn't handle, while still providing you the big rig comforts and features. Because this isn't like a scaled down Z Air. This is a full blood Model Z. It just happens to only be 30 foot. So we have things like a hydraulic rack and pinion living room slide and 4-point hydraulic auto leveling. Essentially, I've not seen anybody else in this class do this. So it's just gonna work faster, stronger, essentially, better stability, excellent hot cold weather package as you expect from a Brinkley. But this floor plan, I love it because when the slides close, you can access everything that is road critical. It has just about an acre of countertop space. It has tremendous storage, a really good cargo capacity, fantastic holding tank capacities, larger solar package than nearly anything in this class that is not very difficult to double, essentially. Upgraded suspension, upgraded new pin box so that the thing doesn't rattle trap itself apart going down the road, and a laundry list of other features I just love about this thing. This one gets my goat. And the other ones, maybe they tote them. Maybe they totes my goats. I don't know. That's a joke that you haven't heard a lot of anymore. Kind of like clown shoes. You haven't heard people call something clown shoes in a long time. But I'm here to bring it back, America, and the Canadians watching, and anybody else. And in the meantime, let me know what you like about this. Let me know what you would change given the opportunity. And buckle up, because we've got a fun ride ahead of us today.
But what if you're looking for something that gives you the most peace of mind after a sale? The best after the sale support. There's some good brands out there. Again, I don't think people are realizing how good Jayco is getting in this department, especially as, I guess you call it, a legacy manufacturer, but they are trying to establish their legacy. And absolutely, I need to mention Brinkley in this conversation because they have done a fantastic job as a new company of jumping up and taking care of their owners. But I think I want to give the nod to this one to the folks at Alliance, because Alliance is really, I credit, I could be wrong, I credit as the company that has defined the gold standard of customer service in the modern era. Yeah. There are some other companies that are doing some very, very similar things. Like Brinkley's been doing some very, very similar things. I feel Alliance is the one that kind of created the modern RV manufacturer customer service playbook, and they continue to double down on it.
Okay, guys, so I don't normally go through an RV a second time within a year, but the changes they've made on this since the first time I went through it is amazing. This is threatening to be my personal favorite couples camping fifth wheel, and I cannot wait to go through this with you again. Hello everybody, Josh RV Nerd of Bish's RV here with the 23ML Alliance Avenue. This is basically their version, let's call a spade and a duck. This is their version of the Cougar 23MLE, which I freaking love. I think it is amazing because it's like 30 foot. It's something where if you have like a more medium duty or better 3/4 ton, you don't need a giant monster truck to be able to haul it around. But this floor plan gives us ideal, practically, traveling access. And even if you don't care about travel stop access, it doesn't hurt you because you have direct facing entertainment. You have a surprisingly open feel in a one slide RV. You have amazing countertop prep space, amazing storage, a very solid little miniature outdoor camp kitchenette. This has something like 320 watts, I think, of factory solar up on the roof, which does not suck. Automatic leveling, and a fantastic weather package, something like 0 to 100 degree rated, tested, proven. A very easy to walk around true queen bed, and everything in this feels a little bit bigger, a little more open, and a little more grand. Not only just because of the new decor that they're using in here, which I love. I really like the look of this new decor, but the fact that this is a rare instance of a short, wide body fifth wheel. There are very few builders, I think you can count them on less than one hand, who make smaller, wide body fifth wheels like this. And that extra space in the small RV that we're looking at is such a game changer. Now, Alliance does amazing things, like their back-end customer service and support is about the best. It's the gold standard of the industry. Their running gear, the shock dampening pin box, suspension, the Goodyear tires, all of that, the composite walls and floor, like they're nailing so many things that I personally want to find in an RV. I feel super strong about this one. Like it might be my new personal favorite couples camping fifth wheel. I'll have to check it out, but I want to hear from you as we go. I'm going to try to reel myself in, give you good, bad, ugly, and in between like I always do, and let you decide which one's the best for you or not. So if you appreciate that, hit that subscribe button. Let's get in there.
And then finally, if we could somehow mathematically average out all the features, all the benefits, the service records, the price tag, if we could somehow create a mathematical aggregate score, the best of the best overall brand on the market for my money today, I have to say, is probably Rockwood Flagstaff RVs. They are two names again for the exact same thing. But if you look at dollar for dollar, pound for pound, what they do versus what you get, and the amount of warranty stuff they don't have going on, it's just insanely impressive. A company that's been around for that long has continued to do it this well, that great. Now, no brand is perfect. I'm not saying they're the only perfect brand out there. There's some excellent brands out there, certainly. There's some things you could absolutely say, well, this brand or that thing is built better. Absolutely. But dollar for dollar, on average, for the money, I think Rockwood Flagstaff is maybe one of the best RVs on the market today, period.
You know what the world didn't need? Another front kitchen travel trailer. But you know what I'm glad Rockwood did? Made another front kitchen travel trailer. This might be, maybe the best one yet. Hello and welcome everybody. Josh the RV Nerd of Bish's RV down here in Millersburg, Indiana today, where I caught wind that Rockwood, who's basically the king of front kitchen camping, has come up with yet another front kitchen. But the thing is, they may have actually accomplished what every other builder has tried to do with front kitchens. I've been showing videos of front kitchen RVs like Rockwood's for years now, and the one common consistent criticism is they just have jack and squat for campsite windows. Well, Rockwood rose to the challenge, and basically they took every bit of feedback they possibly could get off of all their front kitchens previously and said, what if we solved for every single one of those problems in one individual trailer? This new 2619 front kitchen gives us a very social seating arrangement. It maintains awesome kitchen setup, like good prep space, good counter space, Great storage, all packed in on the nose of this thing. This is a model where that front windshield actually makes the most sense to me because it's not buried in a bedroom. But by going with a powered elevator, based on your feedback, they've given us either the biggest campsite window I've ever personally seen in a front kitchen travel trailer, and easy direct viewing entertainment where you don't have to crank your head and neck up toward the ceiling to see the thing. They opted for a walk-through bath this time so that they could get away from the radius shower. That gives them the opportunity for a rectangular shower, but they have maintained that just absolute nailed it rear queen bed slide plus big bonus closet on this one. The only thing about this one I'm not sure of standing here right now is what the road mode's going to look like, but if you hang with me, we will make sure we get those slides closed and check that out for you. I am very curious to see what you think about this one. I think this one's really got legs, but I want to hear from you where you think they nailed it, where you think they failed it, and if you appreciate how we get you down here and your voice helps make these models, hit that subscribe button and let's get inside here.
So I'd be curious, how do these kind of stack up to you? How does it add up to you? Or do your experiences align with kind of my feelings, or have you seen something different? I'd love to just kind of compare notes in the comment section, because again, this is very personal. This is subjective. The way that you might have noticed, I didn't have a toy hauler in this list. It's just not my thing. I didn't have a pop-up. I didn't have a toy hauler. I didn't have a motorhome. That's just not my style of camping. I tend to be more of a towable, goable enthusiast, and these are the things that sort of speak to me the loudest. As I mentioned before, we've obviously seen a bunch of quick footage. If you want to see longer, in-depth footage on these, not only do I have full-length videos, I have an entire playlist dedicated to all these different things that you can take a look at. And if you'd like to learn a little bit more, whether you're curious or serious about something like a price tag, remember, we put our pricing right on our website. We don't have hidden dealer fees at Bish's RV. We just put it all right on the plate to make it easier for you to digest effectively. So when you're ready, we're ready. And if you appreciate little videos like these, or if you have an idea for a topic or a series you'd like me to cover, leave me a note, let me know, and I'll do my best to fill in the blanks. So until next time, take care, stay safe, have fun, and happy camping, everyone.